Hi there, welcome to Everyone Can Jam, and welcome to the first in our series of lessons on music theory. These lessons have been designed to be super simple, super basic, but focusing on really important things that can help make a huge difference in beginning to understand the fretboard and having breakthroughs and playing by ear, doing your well-tempered work. There's a lot of things in music theory that are easy to get bogged down with that you really don't need at the beginning when you're playing guitar. Guitar is kind of magical for just learning some basic relationships and being able to play those relationships in any key, whether you're really familiar with the sharps and flats in that key or not. So let's just go ahead, before we talk about the major scale, let's talk about whole steps and half steps. And I just want to make sure you know on guitar that I want to start on the 5th fret here. I'll explain what these blue dots are for in a minute. I'm on the 5th fret of my 6th string. I'm going to play that note. And I just want to make sure you know that if I play this note on the 5th fret, and if I go 2 frets higher, we call that a whole step. Whenever you play one note and you leave an empty fret in between, play 2 frets higher, we call that a whole step. When we start talking about the major scale, every note, between every note is a whole step, except 2 places. And that's what we want to make easy today, knowing where the whole steps and half steps are. If I were to play my 4th fret right here, and I just play 1 fret higher, we call that a half step. No matter where you are on your guitar, let's go to a different string. This is my 3rd string, 5th fret. If I want to go up a whole step, skip a fret. That's a whole step. But if I just go up 1 fret, that's a half step. And if there's any confusion about whole steps and half steps, don't worry about it. It's going to come clear really fast because we're going to be repeating that over and over and over again. So don't worry about memorizing anything. Let's see. So I want to go ahead and play a major scale for you, okay? And that's what these blue dots, some of you are going to want blue dots on your guitar, and some of you won't need it. I'm going to play my 6th string open. And then let's not count frets. That's one reason I have the blue dots. If you're going to be counting today or using the math part of your brain, use it to count what we call scale degrees. 1st note, 2nd note, 3rd note, 4th note, and so on. And let me play it for you. 1st note, 2nd note, 3rd note, 4th note, 5th note, 6th note, 7th note, 8th note. So for this lesson, we're going to try to avoid talking about fret numbers in case we absolutely have, unless we absolutely have to, because I don't want you to get confused between the fret numbers. I don't want your brain doing that math. I want your brain thinking about 1st note, 2nd note, 3rd note, 4th note. Okay, let me play it again. And because you might be familiar with what we call solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Remember a minute ago when I said that if you play a note and then you leave an empty fret in between, that's a whole step? So one really good way to think about a major scale on guitar is, well, any instrument, they're all whole steps except in 2 places here. So let's play the 1st note open, 2nd note, 3rd note, 4th note. Right there between the 3rd note and 4th note is a half step. That is probably the most golden magical thing you'll learn today. Let's see, did I really need to sit down and talk about this? The reason I sat down is I wanted to say what we're playing now, because this string is an E string, we're playing an E major scale. The 1st note is E, so we're playing an E major scale. No matter what major scale you're playing, there's a half step between the 3rd note and the 4th note. All the major scales have this same relationship. And we're going to play a bunch of them today. So, but we're not going to name the notes. We're just going to see the relationship. First note, second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note, eighth note. And you'll notice between 7 and 8, there's another half step. So all your major scales, you have a half step between the 3rd and 4th note and the 7th and 8th note. All the rest of them are whole steps, and you can see them. That's one reason I wanted these blue dots here. I'm going to put one more dot right here, right there on the nut, because that represents the first note. Like if I were, say I was playing down, I don't really need to squeeze there or fret there, but I want you to think of that as the location of the first note or the E note. It's the 6th string open, okay? So let's look at these whole steps one more time. First note, whole note. First note, whole step, another whole step, half step, whole, half. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's really important that this become second nature to you. Some of you, you're gonna already have this, and if you're new to music and new to guitar, it would be a good idea to play this every day, even just for a minute or two. If you do something like this every day, it's stored in your brain in a much different way than if you play it 20 times on Saturday. Try to do it every day. And what I want you to also do is not just on the 6th string. So if you may or may not need the dots to help you keep track of where you're at. Just remember, everyone is a whole step. First note, second note, third note, but between 3rd and 4th is a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, and then the very last 2 are a half step. You just want to learn to know that, whatever it takes. You may already have it without putting, the dots are just Post-it notes. They're so innocuous, and I just cut the sticky part, and that's where I get my little dots. There's a PDF for this lesson, which is on my free instruction page. You may or may not need it, but if you'd like to have the PDF, it shows the shape of the scale we just played. This is for the next lesson, okay? Well, no, I said that wrong. I'm looking at it backwards. This is the one we played today, and this is the one we're gonna play in the next lesson. And if you want the PDF for the lesson, you can just go to the link in the description under this video and sign up for my email list. And in the welcome email, you'll get a link to my free instruction page. And that's where you can find the PDF that I just showed you. So again, our main objective for today is to be able to play a major scale, starting on an open string, and to know where those half steps and whole steps are. And hearing it is important. Hearing it and playing, not just, I know, I get it. Knowing and understanding what I just told you is not enough. You have to actually play it for it to become useful to you, okay? And this is very useful to you as you develop as a guitarist and learn how to play by ear eventually. So your 6th string, so like I said, our objective is to be able to play the major scale, not to name the notes. But if you want to know, this is the E string. So when we play this pattern on the E string, we're playing an E major scale. And you don't need to know where the sharps are. You just play that shape, okay? We're gonna do some magic things with this. Now I'm playing the 5th string, and I don't need dots under my 5th string. I'm just gonna follow the same pattern. Open, here, here, here. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Getting to know these spots by the number of we call it a scale degree. First note, second note, third note, fourth note. You want to know this one is the third note. This one is the fourth note. So don't think about fret numbers. Let's play the D string. Fourth string open. Here, here. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Noticing that 3 and 4 are a half step apart. All these others were whole steps. 7, 8 were a half step apart. Let's do it on the third string. The third string is a G note. So if you start on the third string, you're playing a G major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Let's do it again and notice where the half steps are. All the others are whole. Do, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there between third note, fourth note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not going to play the other strings right now. That's what I want you to practice. You can play it if you do it on the second string, you'll be playing a B major scale. If you play it on the first string, that's an E major scale. And if you're using the PDF to help you keep track of what you're playing, don't worry about, you can play that one if you want to. That's starting on the first fret, but we're going to talk about that in the next lesson. Just trust me, this is going to be magical. It's hard to see right away in this lesson how magical it's going to be, but it won't take long. Just around about the fourth or fifth lesson, things are going to open up to a whole new world. And what I'm teaching you is definitely some fundamental basic stuff that will help in any music theory lessons that you ever take. And hope that helps. Please like and subscribe, and that helps us, helps me to keep being able to do this work. So I'm glad you're here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.